Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another review by Stoss. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Of Mice and Men and their new album, Defy. Now, Of Mice and Men is a heavy metal band, in case you didn't know. They were formed in 2009. They debuted in 2010 with their first album, self-titled, Of Mice and Men. And that's probably my favorite album by them. Just the lyrics from Austin Carlisle, their lead singer, and the fantastic guitar work from Phil Manansala. That debut album peaked the US Billboard charts in the top 10, and that was back in 2010. One of their most popular songs from that album is Second and Sebring, the third track on the album, which is one that I really love. After that album, then the lead singer left the band, Austin Carlisle. He left the band, but then he came back in 2011 to stay until 2016. They released now their fifth studio album, Defy, on January 19th. This album features a lot of awesome sounds that I really love, and even some things I didn't expect. The seventh track of the album, Money, is, you guessed it, it's a cover of Pink Floyd's original, Money, same title, of course, from their 1973 release of Dark Side of the Moon. It was a huge album. That's one of their biggest ones, along with The Wall and everything like that. Defy has some awesome musical aspects to it as well. I think it was mixed really well. And on the first track especially, you can hear just how tight the drums are and how clean every break is, and just the guitar wailing and the bass and how well the vocals are processed too. Austin Polly does a fantastic job doing both lead vocals, which he took the place now of Austin Carlisle, and also playing bass. And he gets out the grittiness of the lyrics in his growl and his screaming, and then the feeling of the lyrics you can really hear in his clean vocals, like in some of the choruses. Now, I would say that Of Mice and Men have a pretty unique sound, especially from other, more of the heavy metal bands in that genre, and around this modern time too. I would say that their sound is pretty tried and true, especially just, it's been mostly the same since the beginning. They've definitely grown, and everything has really developed along with the age of the band. But they really have that nice sound. They have really, really clean but gritty sounds of the screaming and the heavy breakdowns and everything, but then they still have the nice soaring vocals over the clean breaks and the choruses with the soulful lyrics and everything. They keep this album along the same lines of that signature sound, except for, then of course, as on most albums, there's that one slower song, and this one it's the 12th track, the last one, called If We Were Ghosts, and it talks about feeling hurt and stuff like that, and Polly really, his voice just, especially since it's mostly clean in this song, you can really just hear his normal vocal talent, which I really enjoyed in that song. Now, you can definitely tell that this band has a lot of talent just together. They work really well together. You can hear it especially in their second track, called Instincts. It starts with a bunch of drums, and then it goes into some gritty grunge guitar solo, and then everything else comes in, and it's a good song. Of course, then in the chorus, there's some clean vocals with some really nice, just soaring guitar lines, melodic drums and everything. This song really sells just that signature sound of Mice and Men. It's got the lyrics about pressing on and inspiring and going forward, and it's got the energy behind it and everything too. With Defy, Of Mice and Men have once again told the world about how they are one of the most popular metal artists, and they've really set the bar high for the genre this early into 2018, which is pretty impressive, I would say. I give this album an 8 out of 10. It's got good vocals, good mixing, good drums, pretty good guitar, a little lacking on the lower end of drums and bass, but most of the mixing and mastering is pretty clean, and that I really like. And then they have, of course, that signature sound that they've always stuck with, and they've got some great meaning in the lyrics. They definitely know their sound, and they play it really well.